What does it mean to be an entrepreneur? I can tell you this, it is not for the faint in heart. It is only for the brave, the courageous, the calculated. Entrepreneurship is reserved for the resilient. It's time for application. It's time for execution. If you want your future and keep listening in this life, there will always be obstacles, there will always be challenges, there will always be giants. And I don't care if you have to listen to me 10,000 times, there are going to be days where you are going to be so inundated with responsibility, and you are going to want to completely let go. Perseverance is what kicks in the moment you want to quit. Perseverance is what kicks in the moment it gets hard. Perseverance is what kicks in when your mind attempts to manipulate you and tell you that you don't have what it takes, that you've done enough, that it's over, that it doesn't take all that. The race is not given to the swift nor the strong, but it is he that endures to the end. They say that discipline is doing what you hate like you love it. In this life, there will always be obstacles. There will always be challenges. There will always be giants. What has defeated you? What is your giant? Name it. Is it fear? Is it anxiety? Is it insecurity? Is it doubt? Perhaps your giant or your improbable feat is a better relationship. Weight loss. What has been your obstacle? Your challenge? Your task? What is your giant? This is the last day you are going to allow this giant to defy you. I know it hasn't been easy. It's time to win. Goliath. There will be many giants in your life. There will be depression. There will be anxiety. There will be oppression. There will be stress. There will be overwhelm. Will you buckle under the pressure, or will you rise to the occasion? The Bible says that David got up and ran into the army of the Philistines. He ran towards the battle. And like an eagle is the only bird that flies into the storm. It is time for you to fly into the next dimension of where you have been called to. What is your dream? What is your idea? What is your assignment? There is a new breed of champions emerging out of the ashes of death and fear. Your knees may be knocking, your palms sweaty, but the time is now to rise up and run after it. Run after your dream. Run after your idea. Run after your goal. Run after it with everything that you have. You will never have your future until you are fully persuaded that you are a carrier of everything required to fulfill your destiny. If nobody believes in you, you gotta make it up in your mind that all you have is all you need. You are going to need vision before you win. You're going to have to see it. I want you to see yourself winning. If you can see it, you can have it. If you've never listened to something in your life aggressively and intentionally, I need you to listen to me. Now you are alive by design. In the moment that you understand that design, your future awaits. You only have so much time to get it done. I need you to live every day as if it's your last. You don't have time to waste. So I need you to put in 1,000% every single day. I have too much to accomplish to be satisfied with where I am right now. I have too much on the line. I have too many people depending on me to win. I must stay hungry. Hunger is the only thing that's going to give you the power to persevere through that pain. Never stop climbing the hill. There is always another hill to climb. Go find your hill and climb. You got to be hungry for your dream. You got to be hungry for your next level. You got to be hungry for connection and alignment. You have to be hungry to fulfill your destiny. Hunger is not an idea. Hunger is not a mood. Hunger is a lifestyle. I'm never full. This is me every day, all day. I'm hungry to learn. You got to be hungry to read. You have to be hungry to grow. You have to be hungry to manifest what is in your head. Stay hungry. Stay hungry. You study any animal in the animal kingdom, and I will tell you this, that the lion is king because the lion is hungry. The elephant is bigger than the lion. The cheetah is faster than the lion. But nobody is more hungry than the lion. Go ask any athlete, actor, musician, philanthropist. It doesn't matter. You ask anybody who is a champion. And the difference between them and their opponent is that they were more hungry for it. If there's anything I can pour from my heart in this moment, my greatest piece of advice is to protect your hunger. So there are two sides to the coin of entrepreneurship, their heads and their tails, and most people fail to see tails. They see heads, the face of it. They live on the surface. The lights, the cameras, the action, the yachts, the fame. But they don't see the blood, the sweat, the tears. Anybody that is willing to make the sacrifices, they stay up late, they work longer, they are more focused, pay the price and get the job done and finish what they started. Those that are the ones that will succeed. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you're going to need to lead. The world needs more creative, resilient, passionate, committed, focused, disruptive entrepreneurs. The last thing we need is somebody to come along with another good idea, but they don't have the passion, the perseverance, and the grit to get the job done. We don't need another person that's going to start something and quit in 6 months. Don't tell me you want to step into a room and dominate if you don't have passion. Don't tell me that you want to be a disruptive entrepreneur and you want to step into a room with a new idea and talent and change the status quo, and you don't have passion. Right now you may be in pain, right now you may be hurting, but if you have vision, you are able to see past the pain and look into the eyes of the future. You are going to have to accept the fact that you will lose money. You will not win every day, but you will never lose, because when you don't win, you will learn. See, everybody want to talk about the good idea, the cute branding, the banners, the likes, and the shares. But I'm going to tell you the one thing you're going to need if you're going to win in the game of entrepreneurship, and that is grit. Inside of grit is passion, perseverance, character, courage, the ability to perform under pressure, resilience, consistency, perseverance, loyalty, creativity, courage, effort, patience, time management, optimism. The ability to take responsibility, not to buckle under the spotlight. Man, we need more resilient, passionate, committed, zealous entrepreneurs. We need more ideas that would challenge the status quo. If you want to show up and play and be a disruptive entrepreneur, you got to bring everything you have into the storm. I remember being on my job with no possibility of a future, and I will never forget the moment that a man walked up to me and looked me in my eyes and told me that this was the best I would be able to do. And I came to the resolve in that very moment that greatness would be my new norm. What he said to me hit me hard. It was a metaphoric, massive blow to my face. Like a wise man once said, you gotta pick your head up like your nose is bleeding, and right where they left you for dead, elevate. Where he told me I would retire from that, this was the end of the lie. I came to the resolve that I would not believe the lie. I could hear it in the air that the voice of destiny would reside in the place where he wanted me to die. I made the decision to fight for my future. You will not pause. You will progress. You will not expire. You will evolve. You will not crumble in the midst of crisis. You may be neck deep in what seems to be a catastrophic storm of chaos, but I pray that in this moment, you will not crumble in the midst of crisis. You may be neck deep in what seems to be a catastrophic storm of chaos, but I pray that in this moment, you will find the calm, the peace, the hope, the faith, the courage, the expectancy you need to live and not die, to move up and not stay where you are. You get what you see, and that is the formula for expectancy. Your expectation is what you believe is about to happen. And for many of you, you have been so traumatized by the past that your expectations are so diminished. Your expectations have been dying a slow death because of the trauma of the past. You expect nothing. And so you feel like, if I don't expect anything, then you can't hurt me. If I have no expectation on you, then you cannot disappoint me. If you are going to win the fight for the future, you are going to have a high expectation. It was Kobe Bryant that said, everything negative, pressure and challenges is all an opportunity for me to rise. It's crises that reveals what we are comprised of. And I ask you the question, are you praying the darkness away? Or are you becoming the highest version of yourself in the midst of the darkness? You know, when you find yourself standing in the middle of trial, tribulation, scarcity, and uncertainty, there is a process from flapping to flight. How you process pain will determine your future. I need you to fight for the future. Let this thing in for a minute. You are not your crises. You are not what you are going through. What are you expecting the outcome to be? Because you can't change what has happened. However, you can change what will happen. You've been an underdog in your relationships. If you've been an underdog in the weight room, if you've been an underdog in life, if you've been an underdog financially, I'm talking to that person who grew up without a father. I'm talking to that person who grew up without a mother. I'm talking to that person who didn't grow up with handouts. I'm talking to that person who, maybe if you did grow up with a little bit of handouts, but maybe you were misunderstood and you were overlooked and you were undervalued and you were mishandled and misguided. You got a dream to buy a house. You got a dream for better relationships. You got a dream to win a fight. You got a dream to get your family out of the hood. You got a dream to lose weight. I mean, whatever that dream is, whatever you have, that goal, that improbable feat, once you get it set, once you smell that, once you get a feel for it, taste of it. An underdog is an individual who refuses to live in the dark. They refuse to remain in obscurity. They refuse to live in stress and overwhelm and anxiety. They are somebody who is tired. Like when you come to the end of yourself, you gotta get tired. Like you have to get tired. Tired. Something inside of you has to snap. You gotta get tired of being broke. When you get tired of being coined the loser, being coined not enough, being overlooked and undervalued and underpaid, you gotta get tired of that. When you get tired, that's when you win. The underdog is a person that comes out on the playing field and says, okay, I've been in this place of pain my whole life. I've gone without for so long. This is the day you make up in your mind where I will take the throne. I'm talking to that person that is acquainted with pain. I'm talking to the person that knows what it's like to come from nothing, and so you literally have nothing to lose, and the only thing that's in your head is a dream. The only thing that's in your head is what it takes to get to the top of that hill, because I am not the wolf on the hill, I am the wolf climbing the hill, I have nothing to lose counted out. Overlooked, undervalued, misguided, betrayed. Somebody who has been really dishonored, disrespected. Somebody who has lost everything, who people stop believing in, is a very desperate person. They're climbing a hill. They try to achieve a dream. And when you are desperate, you are very dangerous. And a dangerous man or woman is somebody who is a disruptor. They don't play by the rules. They are coming for blood. They are coming for blood. Your story is not your fortress. Your story is your fuel. When you doubt the underdog, it's like music to his ears. Tell me, I'm not good enough. Tell me, I'm not strong enough. Tell me, I won't finish. There is this intrinsic emotion, this instinct. You have just awakened the lion in me. Because they said you can't do it. They say you don't have what it takes to make the investments. They said you don't have what it takes to lose the weight. They say you don't have what it takes to hang on to your marriage. Everybody has been counting out. Everybody has been doubted. The underdog is not a person who doesn't feel pain, doubt, and fear. The underdog is a person that turns that pain, that doubt, that fear into their fuel. If you came from a place where you had nothing, that's everything that you need. You've been in this place too long. You've come into agreement with this place of brokenness, procrastination, laziness. Rip up the contract with your past and pursue your purpose and fulfill your destiny. Come to the resolve that you will never be this broke or broken again. Yeah, one thing I know about destiny is that it will avoid you until you are no longer willing to tolerate the place where you have settled. The place called convenience. There is a light inside of every one of us, an ember that burns and begs us to become more than what we have ever been. It's our aspirations that must become our allies. I noticed that everything that I have accomplished over the course of my life, I accomplished with a new set of beliefs and a new set of habits. I noticed I was able to make things happen when I destroyed the door in the room. See, I don't care what your goal is. It could be relationships. It could be to lose weight. It could be to make more money. It could be to become something nobody in your family has ever been. The moment that you destroy the door, the way out in the room of your dream, that's when you make it happen. What you do while you are in pain will echo through the ages. Scrape the grill of your past and get all that junk out of there. Of every memory, of every failure. You need to unplug from everybody and everything that is telling you that you cannot have your future. That you cannot have this goal, that you can't do what's on your heart to do. You gotta unplug, 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 unplug. There are too many people in your life to keep telling you that you are not qualified, that you don't have what it takes, that you will never be able to accomplish, because your resume ain't long enough, because you don't have the experience, because you are unfit. And so you've got to unplug from all the negative voices. You've got to unplug from everything and everybody that's telling you cannot have that dream. That you are not qualified to have that dream. You've got to unplug. You've got to unplug. It may hurt because there are some people that you're going to have to let go of. There are some people that can't come with you to the next level. They're not qualified to fly at the frequency that you're flying at. They cannot come. And you got to get in touch with you. So you can't have the dream unless you know you. Everybody wants this dream. Everybody wants this lifestyle. But they don't know themselves. And so you need to take some physical evaluation, some emotional and psychological evaluation, spiritual evaluation, and you got to figure out, okay, what works and what doesn't, and what are my boundaries? And what are my limitations? And what am I capable of? And what do I need to work on? And then you need to connect with the people that believe in your dream life moves at the speed of your relationships connections. In circles, you need to ask for forgiveness. You need to forgive yourself. You need to reprioritize your activities. Everybody wants the dream to come true, but nobody wants to reprioritize their activities. Nobody wants to hack into their habitual nature and build new habits that are going to give you the future that you seek after. If not now, then when dream big, start small. Gotta dream big, start small. Act now. Dream big, start small, act. Now stop waiting for the temperature to change. Stop waiting for your feelings to be in check. Stop waiting for everything to line up. It never going to line up. It never going to be perfect. You just got to jump. You just have to jump at time for application, at time for execution. If you want your future, then keep listening. If you do not want your future, leave the room. Stop listening to me. Do something else on the internet, because here's the thing. There are going to be days where you are going to be so inundated with responsibility, and you are going to want to completely let go of the vision of the dream as bad as you want to hold it in your hand. You're going to want to let go of it all and quit. And I don't care if you have to listen to me 10,000 times, if you have to listen to this in your sleep. Write it down. Read it every day until the dream becomes a reality. This is the power of discipline. The race is not given to the swift nor the strong, but it is he that endures to the end. They say that discipline is doing what you hate like you love it. For some of you, it might be reading. For some of you, it might be exercising. I don't know what it is that you hate, but do it like you love it and do it daily. Perseverance is what kicks in the moment you want to quit. Perseverance is what kicks in the moment it gets hard. Perseverance is what kicks in when your mind attempts to manipulate you and tell you that you don't have what it takes, that you've done enough, that it's over, that it doesn't take all that you can get by with AC. Perseverance says absolutely not. Perseverance will hold your standard when you're tired, when you're weary, when you think you don't have anything left in the tank. Perseverance says let go. Are you with me? Perseverance says let go a little higher. Perseverance says let push for the. A perseverance says 20 more yards, 10 more yards, 5 more yards. Perseverance says I was made to touch down. I was made to win championships. Perseverance says my design is not to break down. My design is to keep pushing. Discipline is found in our daily routine, our daily rituals. You may use discipline on occasion, but you're not disciplined. And there's a difference between having discipline and being disciplined. When you have discipline, you're selective. When you have discipline, you're conditional. It depends on how you feel when you are disciplined. How you do anything is how you do everything, and everything you do you show up at 1,000%. Everything you do you execute with a spirit of excellence. That's what discipline looks like. Seize the moment, lean into now. See the power, the beauty, the brilliance, the privilege in now. There are people who are dead and gone, and they will never be back. And if they could come back, they would kill to live your now. So be thankful for now, love your now.